we're gonna talk about the fucking sensation. I don't know. The fucking yeah, whatever. We're gonna talk about Barbie next. we're gonna talk about Barbie next. Okay, so we watched Barbie, as did a lot of people this weekend. A lot of fucking people. We watched Barbie, and here's what we think of it, man. So, yeah. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah. Let's talk about Barbie. What did you think?
Let's just start this off. Perfect fucking script. You said it first. I went in there with a high-ass hope, and they did not disappoint. It's weird because it's very childlike, but that just made so much sense to me. The inclusiveness was like off the charts. It wasn't like a forced like inclusiveness either. It wasn't like, oh, here's a black guy, here's a white guy, they're friends. No, it was just like natural, just like how like when you're a kid and you play with people and you don't like notice that shit.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Michael Cera, Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, and America Ferrera, off the fucking charts.
Crazy how you say Michael Cera.
I think he was the best part of the movie. I'll explain that later. I think he was the best part of the movie.
Hyperbole. Anyway, I feel like that's hyperbole.
No, I don't.
I
actually think he's the best part of the movie.
I know. I want to hear.
I'll talk about it later, though. Yeah. I said this already, but it felt very childlike. But like, you know how like little kids play with dolls and stuff, like that. Everything like little lines that they would give off and stuff. I like how that was very different from like adult world. Hello. Okay, there we're good. The costume design and set design and world design for everything was on point. I'm not gonna spoil that part, but there's like little things that they do to prove that this was actually a real thing. That shit was cool to see. I liked you. He texted me after seeing the movie and said, "I think you'd like this because it had an advanced humor." And you weren't wrong. Like this shit was so smart. The way that they would spin things, like Weird Barbie, and how Weird Barbie comes along. That like adult themes that would pop up were because an adult was having a feeling and it would cause Barbie to act a certain way.
Yeah.
I could easily see this film as well as Oppenheimer pulling in multiple awards. We're gonna talk about this. Main actress, I think this is one. Lead actress, I think this one goes to Margot Robbie. I don't think any other movie's doing that shit. I think she pulled off a very great performance, even acting as regular Barbie and the more human emotions. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Music choice is amazing. The choreography, I want to talk about that too. All of the dance scenes were on point. Even switching from like the I'm Just Ken. Is that the same song? Is it Just Ken or I'm Just Ken?
I'm Just Ken.
I'm Just Ken. Song of the year.
I think so. Yeah. I definitely see a nomination for that because it's an original song that Ryan Gosling wrote. So
he wrote that song.
He wrote the song and he performed it. It's crazy.
Yeah, another 10. I think that's I watched 2 10 out of 10 movies yesterday. I was very happy about it.
All right. Well, I also watched Barbie, and Barbie, directed by Greta Gerwig, stars Margot Robbie as Barbie and Ryan Gosling as Ken, and follows the two on a journey of self-discovery following an existential crisis. Going into the film, expectations for me were immensely high, and again, not just by me, but everybody on the fucking planet was thinking about Barbie. I think for me, it started off with Ryan Gosling talking about Ken and just like how kind of method actor he was going with the role of Ken. That really drew me to the movie. And I was like, all right, what the fuck is this about? You know, because it's Greta Gerwig. She's directed Lady Bird. She's directed Little Women. And she's also in a relationship with Noah Baumbach, who's done Marriage Story and the one movie with fucking Ben Stiller and Adam Sandler. I can't remember the name right now. But he's a really good and talented director. And then Greta Gerwig is also a very interesting director as well. And she's helming Chronicles of Narnia. She's doing a lot of interesting stuff. So a Barbie movie was something I was like, okay, this is getting more interesting. Barbie was originally supposed to be helmed by Sony, and they were talking with, what's her name? Amy Schumer. Yeah. So let's just... So anyway, they went into a different direction, and they got Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling and a bunch of other people, as you said, you know, Michael Cera, Kingsley Benadir, fucking Alexandra Shipp, Simu Liu, America Ferrera, a bunch of other people. Okay.
Dua Lipa.
So yeah, Dua Lipa was in there. John Cena was in there. So got a lot of people. Very interesting cast. Will Ferrell. Yeah, man. What did I think about this movie? This movie was fucking perfect. This movie was fucking perfect. And I say that not even joking.
Mm-hmm.
I legitimately think that this movie has such a perfect script. The way that they write the dialogue for some of these characters is ridiculously smart, and it's funny. Some of this stuff, again, like, you know, comedy, not everybody's going to think the same stuff is, you know, funny. I thought this movie was fucking hilarious. I think it was kind of funnier than Joyride, in my opinion. And it was a different kind of humor, too.
I like it, like very advanced humor.
Yeah. So let's just get into some of the positives. It's masterfully directed. This is like a film lover's dream. Every single shot is perfect, in my opinion. Greta Gerwig, she knows how to kind of cut a scene and when to drag it out to communicate like a character's emotions throughout the entirety of the movie. With that being said, the pacing is perfect. I think that the first 10, 15 minutes are like fucking perfection. I was smiling throughout the entirety of that sequence. And then it cuts and we go into the real world. And this is all in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. But we get into that side of the story. And it's just, everything is perfect. Everything is laid out perfectly. Like I said, the pacing is perfect. The writing, as I said, is some of the best writing I've seen in years. I mean, years. Like, I said this right after the movie, and you talked about it too. I posted to our account that Barbie is one of the greatest screenplays of all time, and I truly mean that still. It's very snappy. It's smart. It's so rapid fire, kind of like how we talked about Joyride being rapid fire with everything. You're not going to pick up every single joke. It kind of just sounds like that's how they are, because in Barbie Land, that's just how they are. And nothing is an actual joke, but to us, it's fucking funny. So that's why I kind of enjoyed the script so much. Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling are fucking fantastic. I think Ryan Gosling kind of steals the show a little bit. He is essentially a main character, in my opinion, but the actual movie is about Barbie, and that's why I appreciate it. They kept the focus on Barbie. And when you have someone like Ryan Gosling playing Ken, someone so huge like that, and someone who is very capable of stealing the show from Margot Robbie's Barbie, and they can't do that because Margot Robbie is so good, that's just great. Okay. You mentioned it too, the singing and the songs and the dance sequences with Ryan Gosling. That's some of my favorite shit that I've seen in a long time. I'm a fucking sucker for like musical stuff and good musical stuff. And that whole sequence, I keep playing it in the car too, because they released it on Spotify. That whole sequence is goddamn perfect, man. The set design, the costumes, it just feels like a film. Nothing felt like green screen because it wasn't. It just felt like a movie, and it was so classic. It felt weird because you don't get these kind of movies anymore. Like typically, I'm comparing it to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That whole thing looked fake when it could have been real. Like they could have made that if they just took the time to make it. And the fact that I'm believing Barbie Land is more realistic than fucking, a Marvel movie with 150, 170, $200 million. It's just insane. So they did a really excellent job at that. And, I love the aesthetic. Everybody's going to be talking about the aesthetic. Everybody's been wearing pink. Everybody's been wearing Barbie attire. Hello. So another person in this movie that I thought was fantastic was Simu Liu.
Okay, I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
Did you see the fucking, like, I saw like 4 or 5 tweets that were like, no, Simu Liu is the worst part of this movie. What the fuck were they watching?
Really?
Yeah.
People have been saying that?
It's just because they don't like him. I don't know why they don't like him.
Okay. No, I thought he was fucking great.
No, I thought that was the perfect, like sort of like little antagonist.
This is when I was looking at Simu Liu and I was like, okay, I've seen him in Shang-Chi. I've seen him in Kim's Convenience. If he sucks in this movie, then I don't know. Because like I didn't know if he was like an actor or if he was like good in a couple projects thing. No, he's a good actor. Like he's a great actor. And he can dance too. So yeah, I think Simu Liu was great, and like you said, he was kind of like an antagonist to Ken, and I want to say that the trailers were completely different than what this movie actually was, and I loved it. No spoilers yet, but we'll talk about it in a little bit. I don't know why I put in my notes that Ryan Gosling as Ken is literally perfect twice, but there you go. Ryan Gosling as Ken is fucking perfect.
They're all choices.
Yeah. The soundtrack was great because it has so much original music made for the movie, and it all fits and it all works. You said something about the fun fact being that like Mattel
sued Aqua.
Yeah.
So that's why Aqua's Barbie girl couldn't be in the song, because I think Aqua One actually ended up winning the lawsuit.
Really?
I think so. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but for some reason they're not allowed to play the music.
That's tough, man, because that would have been perfect too.
Yeah, it made me really sad to read that.
Yeah. Honestly, I have no fucking cons.
No, I don't.
I can't think of any fucking cons. And it's not even the fact that I grew up with Barbie and I fucking love the Barbie movies. I haven't watched any of the Barbie movies. I know so many people who have watched Barbie movies, played with Barbie toys. I don't give a shit about that stuff. The fact of the matter is, they made a great fucking movie. There's a lot of people on the internet, Ben Shapiro being one of them, that call this movie woke and call this movie, first of all, woke is a stupid fucking term. But they call this movie woke, and they're saying that it's a feminist movie. Not one time in this movie did I feel like they were bombarding me with feminism. Okay? It's a very, 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 very good story about a woman being fucking like, it's about a toy wanting to break out of the box.
Yeah.
If you want to simplify it that much, it's literally just about that. Even Will Ferrell in it says, "Hey, can you get back in that box?" And she says no. Like, they spell it out for you. And if some people in this on the internet can't see that and they can't look past that, they're missing out on a really good movie.
Yeah.
With that being said, I'd like to officially induct Barbie into the Playback Podcast Hall of Fame, because for me, I am giving it a 10 out of 10 as well. What is that, the third movie? It was John Wick, and then it was Across the Spider-Verse.
And this movie.
And then it was
Hopefully
Barbie.
After your second rewatch of
Oppenheimer, maybe. But for a fact, I think Barbie is a 10 out of 10.
Easily. I've legit put no questions. Easily. 10 out of 10.
No question.
That's what I put. Like, I have no questions for it. Like, I'm not questioning it at all.
It's
10 out of
just
10. One of the easiest ones.
It's a perfect fucking movie. And you don't even have to be like a fan. Like I said, like, it's just, technically speaking, what a great fucking film.
Yes, that's why I wanted to get into that one part. Like, there's multiple parts in this movie that I want to talk about, but there's like specific this one scene that I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm. So we are going to get into that specific scene right now. We're going to get into spoilers because there's a lot to talk about. If you guys enjoyed the review, make sure you leave something down below for us. But we're going to get into spoilers now. We're going to talk about Barbie in spoiler fashion. What were you pertaining to?
Two things, specifically the intro with them explaining how Barbie came along and how it like caused a bunch of girls to stop playing with the baby dolls, and actually just transitioning more towards Barbie.
Yeah.
And then in a fucking pretty funny sequence to me, they all start smashing their baby dolls on the floor.
Yeah. And you see that stuff in the trailer too.
And then you see that version of Barbie.
This one?
Yes, it's the
stereotypical Barbie.
Yeah, it's the 60s one though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That part, that was a good ass way to intro it. And then legit transitioning from that to explaining how Barbie world works.
I love the fact that they included a narrator.
Yes, Helen Mirren.
Yeah, because they don't do that anymore.
Yes. And she has a fucking good ass accent too for that. Like, it was a great narration.
Yeah.
They explain like that these are toys, they don't need to like actually eat or to actually drink anything. Their showering isn't real, and they don't have like staircases or anything, so they just float down to the bottom of the stairs. Because that provides you a great like comparison when you flip them to the real world, and she starts becoming more realistic, and she starts falling off the building, and then she can't like walk straight. Her heels touch the ground. And then although you did mention that it's not a very political movie, it is a great comparison for gender equality, because when they go to the real world, it's all very like
male dominated
industries. The guys are catcalling the girls, and then you go back to Barbie world, and that's how Ken feels.
Yeah,
because he has no role. It's a very like female dominated world, and they both start to notice the similarities between these worlds.
That's what I kind of. That's why why I said like the trailers were a little bit different than what the film was, because I was not expecting that to be a plot point. What I really thought the movie was about, and maybe they did this on purpose, but what I really thought the movie was about when I watched the trailer was that Simu Liu was a Ken, Ryan Gosling is a Ken, and they're fighting for Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But then they make a point in that movie that like, you know, Barbie doesn't love Ken, you know? And then apparently upon research, Barbie and Ken, they were never dating. They were best friends, right? So they go through that like kind of stereotype that the girl needs saving from the guy, and they fall in love at the end of the movie. They don't.
Yeah, and that's the part where I told you that felt like a very childlike script, because every time that Ken and Barbie have an interaction, it was like a kid was playing with their toys. The whole we should go upstairs and do what? Yeah, kids don't fucking think about sex and stuff. They're not doing that. All the Kens being like really stupid and having like dumb names for things. It's like you gotta think about this as like a little girl playing with a boy. Yeah, like a doll. What was the name of his house? His Super Master Dojo,
something like that. Yeah, I can't even fucking. It's hilarious though. Yes, because like Mattel made Ken not for boys, but like
for girls to have.
Yeah, for girls to have like a boy best friend for Barbie.
Yes. And then like every time they threw out like a different version of Barbie, they would pop up a little thing on the side that goes, "This Barbie went from like this year to this year, and it just discontinued for this reason." Or every time they
Barbie fans are gonna have a fucking field day with these like little Easter eggs.
Yeah. There's a legit scene where Ken takes over the Barbie house on the Barbie Dream House. That's what it's called, right? The Barbie Dream House becomes Ken's house, and he starts throwing Barbie's clothes off the roof. Yeah. And every time before it clothes hit the floor, they pop up, explain what it's from, and then drop down. Yeah. And there's like little sequences where America Ferrera's character will turn around and be like, "Oh, I lost those shoes." And it's just like, I used to have them and stuff. And you find out that America Ferrera is like the fucking person who owned her doll.
America Ferrera is great in this movie, by the way.
Yes, especially the scene where she starts talking about how hard it is to be a woman.
Yeah. Oh, because like some people can take that as like feminism. I didn't take it as that at all, right? It just felt natural in the movie.
It would just make the way that all the dolls spoke, all the Kens and Barbies spoke, just made it seem so much more fantasy. Like him going, my job is just beach. Because all the girls had an actual job. Yeah. Like there's a president, there's senators, there's a Supreme Court. And then like the shock for both of them when they go to the real world.
It's flipped.
It's flipped completely on its like head.
That's not a con, but a gripe for me. Because they go to the real world, right? And then they go to Mattel, the manufacturers of the actual Barbie toy. But they're so animated in there. It like Will Ferrell and them, they're so like disconnected from the real world that it doesn't seem like they're in the real world. Because when they go to Venice Beach and they get hit with that reality check of like getting catcalled, even Ken getting catcalled too, it didn't seem like the same world to me. Did you feel that too?
I can get what you're getting at, but I think that was the whole point.
That Mattel was
like out of touch.
I can see that.
Because I mean, like the whole point was that Barbie ruined a lot of women's self-image. And like that was like the main point, was that that's why they like the daughter hated Barbie so much. Yeah. Which also is a great character in my opinion. Them having like the complete opposite of America Ferrera's character, being her own daughter. Yeah. Yep. All of the heartfelt moments in this movie, like the really like serious toned like moments. Especially with the maker. Is her name actually Ruth? Is it Ruth Mattel?
I don't know if it's Mattel. I'll check.
I can't remember the last name that they gave her, but that scene where she was like explains to like Barbie that, "Oh yeah, I created you after my daughter. I named you Barbie after Barbara." And then when she goes and becomes a human at the very end of the movie, she changes her name to Barbara Mattel.
Handler.
Sorry, that's what it is. It's Handler. Yeah. Yes, it's Ruth Handler. And she changes her last name to Handler, and she becomes Barbara Handler. Like that shit was a good ass touch.
I really love that they picked Margot Robbie for this, because it's such a deep message. that I don't know if anybody else could have pulled it off, but you know, she's great at acting. The crying scenes, it was much deeper than it needed to be for a Barbie movie, but I liked it. And the one scene that I wanted to like talk about a little bit more was the scene on the bench when she like
next to the grandma.
Yeah, with the grandma or the old lady, and it's a fucking beautiful ass scene because it feels like at that moment she doesn't seem like Barbie. She just seems like a regular human being when she goes, "You are so pretty," and like she just says that out of nowhere, and it doesn't sound like how she normally would talk, right? She's more like spunk, and then that just felt like her being real for 1 second. There's a lot of moments like that too, especially with America Ferrera, and towards the end also. So, Ken was fucking fantastic in this movie. The entire like scene of his little song and his dance battle between him and Simu Liu's Ken.
His beach off.
His beach off, yes. Again, like I said, that kind of took me to like a High School Musical kind of stupid, and I fucking enjoyed the shit out of it. And I told Hauder that, you know, he wrote that song. Fuck, that has to be nominated for an Oscar for Best Original Song, I think. I also have that on repeat in the car. So
I was gonna mention. I keep mentioning like it seems very childlike, which is obviously it's not a child that like actually directed this. It's fucking Greta Gerwig. The scenes with like them fighting on the beach and stuff, and how like all the toys are hitting each other, and doesn't that seem like what you used to do with like little army toys?
yeah,
and then
it's such an innocent movie.
Yeah, and then like them just forgiving each other.
Yeah,
and just becoming friends through I'm Just Ken and stuff. And then like, oh fuck, like little like things that they would say like brewski beer, and like having a beach off and stuff, and like the little like dance numbers, how they would just go like a happy day every day because the little kids just playing with toys.
Yeah. Let's see, the fact that they kind of mentioned and acknowledged that Ken and Barbie don't have vaginas or genitals.
Yeah.
You know, that was funny.
I have all the genitals.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that it's the funniest movie I've seen in a while. Not even because of the stuff that they were saying, but because like, it's just smart humor, I think. And then also, there was one part where they kind of broke the fourth wall with the narrator, and Barbie was talking about, I don't feel pretty. And the narrator is like, yeah, hey, Mattel, it's probably better if you didn't have Margot Robbie say this because it'd be more believable. But it's fucking true, you know?
No.
In my theater, it got a huge fucking laugh.
Yeah. Self-awareness in this movie was crazy. Because them going, oh, you know, having a pregnant Barbie, that's just weird.
Now, why was Alan your favorite part of the movie?
Okay. Alan felt the most real to me. I don't know why, because like to me, Alan was like discontinued in the 70s and stuff, and he's like advertised as I don't remember when Alan was actually discontinued. It was just like discontinued almost immediately, right?
Right.
And he's like, he's not Ken's best friend. He's Ken's buddy.
Alan's just Alan.
Yeah, he's just Ken's buddy.
Yeah.
It makes sense because all the Kens are so close, and Alan's just off on the side and stuff. But he's also not Barbie's friend, so he's not with Barbies either. And that's why he's like, I just want to get out of here.
Yeah.
Please take me with you. Take me to the real world.
Yeah.
It makes the most sense for Alan to be out in the real world because he's not either of their friends. Also, he's very gay coded.
Okay.
He's like with the Barbies and he's massaging the Ken's feet and stuff, and he's getting the Ken stuff, and it's just like a little joke that he's gay coded and stuff.
So
and then,
he was the best part of the movie for you?
I just enjoyed his role the most, especially the scenes where he starts like actually like when he goes off with America Ferrera and he starts beating the shit out of the other Kens. I don't know. It was just cool to see Michael Cera in that type of role.
It's nice to see Michael Cera.
It is. I mean, he's not in any projects. He's in some pretty like.
Name one project.
No, because all the projects he's in are fucking like famous.
Name one.
This is the end. He slaps around his ass.
That was 2013.
Okay, I know. I'm saying he's like.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's just good to see Michael Cera. We haven't seen him in a while.
I don't feel like he's not getting roles. I just feel like he's just
Name one. recently.
I don't know what roles he's getting offered.
He's been in one TV show with Amy Schumer.
That he was show is he in that Amy Schumer?
He was starring in for Hulu. I don't know the name, but he was like the lead with her. It's a romantic comedy show, and it's like 6 episodes long. But other than that, I haven't seen him in a lot. So I'm just saying it's great to see Michael Cera.
Yeah. And I just think Alan was the best part
of the entire movie, though.
Yeah, no, like he was like my favorite part. He's not the best part. Sorry, I said that wrong. My favorite part of the movie.
Okay, so I wanted one of the things that was like insanely funny for my theater was when not Barbie, Ken, all the Kens, when they had their like little kind of men's fucking like I don't know what you want to call it. What were they calling in the movie? Like the patriarchy?
Yeah.
Anyway, when they were like singing to the Barbies with the guitar, and they were playing Matchbox 20, and it was fucking hilarious. That put me onto Matchbox 20 again because I haven't heard that song in a really long time. I love that scene. I love how stupid like these scenes are, or how stupid like the jokes are in this movie. Because to me, stupid funny is the best funny. When it's like so stupid that you have to laugh at it because it's like it's so fucking stupid that like all the Kens are singing trying to serenade fucking Barbie.
And they're all in like Matchbox a fucking circle.
20. Yeah. That being said, I love the how they resolved their little dispute, and they kind of like helped brainwash the Barbies back into realizing that, hey, you guys aren't just these stereotypical women kind of roles for Ken. They brought back the what's her name? Issa Rae. They brought back Issa Rae as the president. They brought back everybody in their fucking what do you call? Oh, you were talking about Weird Barbie earlier, right?
Yeah.
I love Kate McKinnon.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she was one of the best parts of the movie too.
Yeah. I think the part that made me laugh the most was Will Ferrell reacting to Midge, the pregnant Barbie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit. Forgot that we discontinued you.
Will Ferrell. Do you think Will Ferrell did a pretty good job in this movie?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people said that they wanted less of him, and some people said that they wanted more of him. I thought he was used just right.
He was like the straightforward comedy in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the theory behind Will Ferrell's character?
What?
I can't remember what movie it is, but like he's the dad from one of the Lego movies.
The dad from one of the Lego movies?
In one of the Lego movies, he comes downstairs and he's like, his son's playing with a Lego set that he built, and he tells his son to stop playing with it, and that he's like actually the CEO of Mattel. And that was like the little theory behind that.
I did not hear that theory.
Yeah, I forgot. I read it like a long time. It was like before the movie even came out.
That's fucking interesting.
Yeah, because he's in like a bunch of toy movies. He's like a dad that's playing with like Legos and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting too to talk about like all of these.
I'm a son of a mother. I'm the mother of a son.
Yeah, when he's trying to like relate to the women.
Yeah, because it's very like off. Like it's like very like not worldly. Like it's just like how like a lot of people see themselves.
Yeah,
in that role.
And they make fun of it too, like how like guys think, you know, because I don't think like every single guy thinks like that, but it's funny because it's fucking Will Ferrell saying it.
Yeah,
and
you also know people like that though.
Yeah, and the fact that this, I mean, you can't call this movie woke when it was written by half of it was written by a man too. Yeah. Like they're making fun of men because that's the stereotype. That's what's funny.
Yeah, you know, like how Ken got like a little bit of information and immediately walked into the hospital, or a knife in a clicky pen.
Yeah. And the fact that, like, he just couldn't believe that woman was a doctor.
Yeah.
Like, can I speak to a doctor? You are speaking to a doctor.
Give me a coffee.
Yeah, no. It, like, in my head, I was like, damn, like, can someone get canceled for this stuff? Because, like, you know, but it's being said not sarcastically, but, like you know it's obviously a joke. And you know it's obviously stupid that these people are like thinking like this. Like Ken is thinking like this, and I think that's why it works. Anything else you want to say about Barbie?
No, I think the joke at the end was funny because it just makes
the gynecologist.
Yeah, because like I forgot, like, you know, she actually asked to be human, and she like grew everything.
Yeah,
that was their way of like making sure that everyone understood. She's going to the gynecologist. I thought she was going to a job interview.
Yeah, no, everybody thought she was going to a job interview, I think. And it was, that was a funny joke.
Or she was going to meet, like, fucking the handlers or something.
I do want to talk about, like, that little part because it made my niece cry when her and Ruth like took that little walk, and they started talking about like Barbie's purpose in this world, and it had a big montage of like moms and like just women in general. My niece started crying. She's 9. My niece started crying. Like she had to like hold herself back. She like that, and I looked over. I was like, damn, that's kind of fucking crazy, because that's what Mattel thought Barbie was doing, right? But they weren't with their toys. And then Barbie finally realizes that, you know, being a woman is more than what stereotypical Barbie thought that being a woman was. And I thought that was beautiful. I think that that's where Greta Gerwig's like filmography kind of shined in that scene. I was like, okay, I can see why Greta Gerwig wanted to do this movie in that specific part.
Yeah, no, but that's what I was mentioned earlier. Like the inclusiveness of the movie just felt like a natural thing to throw out there. Like my cousins, obviously, you know, are Muslim. They wear scarves and stuff. They didn't like mention, oh, this Barbie has a scarf. But in like one of the scenes, there's just a Barbie with a scarf.
It's just a Barbie with a scarf.
And you don't know this, but they actually let her do her scarf in her own style. Like they didn't pick out a style for her to wear. That's like how she actually does her scarf. And so my cousins who wear scarves are like, oh no, they're like, no, that's her style.
Yeah. Yeah. The inclusiveness is just literally, there's a black Ken, there's an Asian Ken, there's a white Ken. They all live in harmony. Yeah. There's a fucking, a black Barbie. There's a white Barbie. There's a wheelchair Barbie. I'm pretty sure there was an Asian Barbie.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah. There's a John Cena mermaid Barbie.
There's a Dua Lipa.
Yeah, Barbie. Dua Lipa Barbie. So.
No, but that's the thing is like, I mentioned earlier, like, you know, when you're a kid, you don't see that type of shit. So. Yeah,
no. So. Yeah. I enjoyed the movie. It's a beautiful movie, and I think that it's a perfect script. I didn't expect to like Barbie this much, but I'm glad that we got it. I do want to see Barbie again.
I'm probably gonna watch it again. It was, especially I can't wait to see the I'm just Ken part. The part where they transition to the black outfits with the colorful background.
Yeah, I do want to watch it again, just specifically for that stuff too. But yeah, man, anything else you want to say about Barbie? Anything else you want to talk about?
No, just keep an eye out for like the scenes where like they start like going, oh, why this got discontinued? Because it's amazing the shit that they got discontinued for.
Yeah, yeah, I love how open they were.
Sugar's daddy.
Stuff. What was that?
That was the Sugar Daddy Ken.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, that. Yeah.
But then like when you see his doll pop up in the end credit scenes, or like the end credit, like the credits rolling, it shows, and it's legit titled Sugar's Daddy.
Yeah, I like how they make fun of them, because it's just, yeah, it's a stupid movie, but that's why it makes it so good for me. Anyway, guys, if you guys partook in Barbenheimer this weekend, let us know what you guys thought about everything down below in the comments. We're gonna get out of here. We've been talking about Barbenheimer for about an hour and 20 minutes. I feel like that's enough. And anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stay updated with everything else that we post. We're gonna be posting every single week, and we will see you next week.
Good night.